I'm happy for research nurses to be able to screen patients' records, because without that, how would they ever do research? How do we ever get cured?
Research nurses having access, I think, is all right. They're in an industry which is trying to help you, and if that help is from knowing about you, then I don't see a problem.
Personally, I'm quite happy for a research nurse to look into any aspect of my record. I think research is a really important thing, but I know I'm an individual and I know that's not the same for anyone, so I think thinking about caveats, it needs to be something that people can opt into or opt out of.
It's a very good idea to actually increase the actual pool of patients, but the checks and balances must be there so that only qualified nurses can actually control your information, look at it and access it. Anything outside of that becomes a big brother world.
I think the consent to approach list is actually a really good idea because you're anonymised when the research nurse or anyone taking part in that comes up to you, and so it gives you a chance to say, yes, I would like to be a part of this research, or no, I don't want to be a part of this research.
My feelings about consent to approach this, I'm fully in favour. I think it's very, very important to have a very sensitive person who approaches you. They have to be sensitive to the fact that you may be ill.
Many times when you're in a doctor's surgery, you're under duress or you may be stressed out, and it's maybe not the best time to be approached about research, maybe even if you're favourable to it. So I think at home, approaching through the mail perhaps seems a little bit more sensible. The pressure is off you.
It's important to have boundaries in terms of the amount of information that's accessed. If research nurses don't need to see 10 years of history, I don't think they should. And so I think the boundary needs to be the information that's relevant to the research that's taken part.
Simplified consent has made sense to me. And what I think about it is that I actually would deeply prefer it. From experience, the wadges of paper you get at the beginning of a trial, the consent forms, are so big, so involved and too much reading.
I think it's a really good idea to carry on with care as it would have been and just opting a patient into drug A or drug B. It seems to make sense to me. It's usual care process and you're not putting the patient at any harm because even the clinicians don't know which drug is better for the patient.
The process of actually getting consent, it should be based on a KISS basis. Keep it simple, stupid. That way people have got more confidence in it. If you make it too overcomplicated, then they'll shut down and just screw it up and throw it away.
Conditions would be that you're kept in the loop, you understand where the trials go in, the process that it's taken, any advances that it's made, and with no consent, I haven't got a problem with it. In terms of your GP giving you some medication, then they're going to give it to you anyway.
It's been very interesting. Some things we probably took for granted. We thought that we know it and we didn't. But I think the most important thing is that it's made us think.
I've really enjoyed the event. Like with 2 days, it's been quite helpful splitting it up because it gives you time to like go away, have a think over what was said, allows you to come back, and if you've got any concerns, and you can bring them up in the following part of it.
So this particular event has been excellent. And from my point of view, I really thought it was going to be a lot of nonsense to begin with, but I've learned a hell of a lot from this. And I'm going to tell other people about this and say they should actually participate as well.